The establishment sees the republic as a snake. They want to cut the head off of the snake. But in each of us, in each of our hearts, lives the spirit of 1776 and true liberty and virtue and freedom against tyranny. So activate. Get involved in the info war today. Spread the word. We outnumber the enemy 1,000 to 1. But if we stand here idle, we will lose. There's a shot of the Gadsden flag, T-shirt we have available that has the Thomas Jefferson quote on the back about the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. The famous yellow flag with the snake on it. The Marine Corps was the first to use it in South Carolina while engaging British ships, in some cases 10 to 1. It's now demonized by the Department of Homeland Security as a symbol of terrorism. But I wanted to read to you what the founders said. In 1754, during the French and Indian War, Franklin published his famous woodcut of a snake cut into 8 sections. It represented the colonies, with New England joined together at the head and the South Carolina as the tail. Following their order along the coast, under the snake, the message was join or die. And for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, this was then used early on in the Revolutionary War. So that's when the rattlesnake was first seen. Then it was picked up in 1776 by the Marines, by the Marine Corps. And writing then, as the American Revolution grew closer, the snake began to see more use as a symbol for the colonies. It's the true symbol of America. In 1774, Paul Revere added it to the title of his paper, The Massachusetts Spy, as a snake joined to fight a British dragon. In December of 1775, Benjamin Franklin published an essay in the Pennsylvania Journal under the pseudonym American Gosser. They're doing some audio testing in there today with a new audio system. I don't know if your people are hearing that on air, but it's hard for me to talk with it doing that. I'm going to start over now. Try as hard as I can here. As the American Revolution grew closer, the snake began to see more and more use as a symbol of the colonies. In 1774, Paul Revere added it to the title of his paper, The Massachusetts Spy, as a snake joined to fight a British dragon. In December 1775, Benjamin Franklin published an essay in the Pennsylvania Journal under the pseudonym American Gosser, in which he suggested that the rattlesnake was a good symbol of the American spirit. This is Benjamin Franklin, now known as a terrorist by Homeland Security, literally. I have him on video being demonized by Homeland Security. FEMA. I recollect that her eyes excelled in brightness, that of any other animal, and that she has no eyelids. She may therefore be esteemed as an emblem of vigilance. See, eternally awake. She never begins an attack. So this describes us. This describes me. This describes my spirit. She never begins an attack, nor, once engaged, ever surrenders. She is therefore an emblem of magnanimity and true courage, as if anxious to prevent all pretensions of quarreling with her, the weapon which nature has furnished her, she conceals in the roof of her mouth, so that to those who are unacquainted with her, she appears to be most defenseless animal. And even when those weapons are shown and extended for her defense, they appear weak and contemptible. But their wounds, however small, are decisive and fatal. Conscience of this, she never wounds till she has been grievously given notice, and generally given notice, even to her enemy, and cautioned him against the danger of treading on her. Was I wrong, sir, in thinking that a strong picture of the temper of the conduct of America? And that's what the Gadsden flag is for all you sickening, degenerate traitors. I was wearing one out in L.A., and people were shrinking in fear because I guess they'd seen it on the news and asking what it was and ooh, what's the shirt? Freedom! All right, I'm going to shut up now and go back. Gary Franchi, William Lewis, you have the floor. Your points about your new film, Camp FEMA.
You know, the film itself, Alex, there's a segment on there, Chuck Baldwin talking about the MIAC report. Okay, I'm standing there, I'm listening to Chuck. You know, this is we're getting his feedback on being labeled a practical terrorist. You know, that's in the film. You know, I sat down with an internment camp survivor for 60 minutes as he shared his heart-wrenching story of how he had to only gather up what he could carry with his bare hands and bring into the camp. An American citizen. Okay, you know, that's in the film. You know, the evidence is there. You know, the pictures are there. It's all there, Alex, and it's terrifying, but it's true. And the American people need to see it. Anyway, William, take the floor, please. I can't take it.
Yeah, I think beyond all the legislation that we're talking about and the mindset and the documentation that we show that are, you know, Senate oversight committee hearings and things that, you know, you can't disprove, all these, you know, besides all of this evidence that we've gathered up, there's one thing we haven't talked about, and that's the 2010 census, which is coming up this next year. No one is mentioning the fact that in 1940, the government collected census information from the Census Bureau and used it to profile American citizens and know whether you were 1/6% Japanese American, and if you were 1/6% or higher, you were put into one of these internment camps. So they used census information to know who they wanted to lock up. We've got a 28-page 2010 census coming out this next year, and if you don't answer the questions on it, they say they're going to fine you up to $5,000 for not answering those questions. They've got census takers that are going to have GPS trackers that are going to go door to door within 40 feet of your front door. They're going to take a picture. It's going to send it up to a satellite. They're going to have GPS coordinates to every single front door in America. So they're going to know what you think, exactly where you live. And now we've got legislation showing that people who think the way we do are a danger and a threat to society. So what's the next step? Well, we're looking at it. It's the legislation. It's these things. It's these camps that they're setting up. This is what they want to do with the American people. And I'm not telling you not to answer any questions from the 2000 census taker that comes to your door, but you know, you have to be your own judge. You have to decide whether you're going to say there's 3 people living in this house, or you're going to sit down and fill out a 28-page form that says whether you own a firearm or not.
And by the way, they've already, phase 1 in the last year, we would tell people this 8-9 months ago and they didn't believe us. Now it's national news. They come and mark your front door. Phase 2 is now beginning. They have, at least that we know of, 10 different surveys. One has 10 questions. Another has 49. One of them has over 200 questions. I got the 40-something question one, and this happened in 2000. Now it's happening to my neighbors again. They come to your door and threaten you with a plastic badge. You have a Fifth Amendment. Gary, Franchi, you want to tell folks what the Fifth Amendment is?
We have the right to be secure in our persons, in our homes, in our effects. They don't have the right to come up. If we don't want to answer the door, we don't have to answer the door. You know, recent information has been revealed to me that they are considering having a question in the census that says, do you own a firearm or not?
No, that is in there. That was in the news in 2000. One of the census forms says, do you own firearms? No, I actually got it. There's videos of it on the web in 2000. No. It's there, Gary. It's there.
Oh, God. Well,
you understand, though, they have an American Business Forum. They have an American Community Survey. There's 10 of them on their website they admit to. I mean, I got one asking, do you have a low flush toilet? Do you have stocks and bonds? What are they? And again, under federal law, they can only ask how many people live here to apportion the number of congressmen your state get. Because California has the most, Texas second, Florida third, New York fourth. That's all it's for. Not, what stocks and bonds do you have? We have a Fifth Amendment. We don't have to answer the police questions.
It's time. The American people need to rise up. They are rising up. People are going to town hall meetings all across the country. There's a town hall meeting in Skokie. Jan Schakowsky. Everyone, if you're in the Chicago area, go out there and give her hell. We're not going to take this socialist agenda coming down from on high. We are going to preserve and protect the United States of America. Stand up now.
Gary, you were telling me during a break about how Remember in Texas, they said the Lloyd Doggett thing was fake, and then now they have to admit it's not fake. The citizens are mad at the congressman and how they threw the first few women and men out, but then that made everybody else come out. Just like they were trying to arrest people putting up the Obama posters, but now they've had to back off. They realize that we run this country, and if we'll just exercise it, it's over. Gary, Franchi, William Lewis. Comments, then we're going to calls.